In the grand halls of the Curia Julia, senators gathered in anticipation. The room hummed with the echoes of Rome's turbulent past, of the Republic's bloody demise and the civil wars that had left their indelible mark on the collective psyche of its people. It was 27 BC, and what unfolded in that chamber would mark the birth of a new era. Gaius Octavius Thurinus, known to Rome as Octavian, was about to be crowned with a name that would echo through the ages, Augustus, heralding the dawn of the Roman Empire. The prelude, Rome's tumultuous path to stability. The end of the Republic. For over a century, the Roman Republic had been unraveling, besieged by power struggles, political assassinations, and civil wars. The death of Julius Caesar in 44 BC was both a climax and a catalyst. Caesar's assassination plunged Rome into chaos, leading to a battle for supremacy between those loyal to the memory of the fallen general and those who clung desperately to the idea of a free republic. The rise of Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir, was an unlikely contender at first, young, inexperienced, and perceived as fragile. Yet, through sheer political acumen and the aid of powerful allies like Mark Antony and Marcus Agrippa, he rose to power. His calculated moves, including the formation and subsequent betrayal of the Second Triumvirate, were a testament to his unyielding ambition. By 31 BC, after the decisive Battle of Actium, Octavian emerged as the uncontested ruler of Rome, ending decades of civil strife. The Senate's momentous decree, a gesture of power. In January 27 BC, Octavian stood before the Senate. His speech, delivered with statesmanlike grace, announced that he would relinquish his extraordinary powers, ostensibly returning them to the Senate and people of Rome. The move was a masterstroke of political theater. The Senate, in awe of this act of supposed humility, bestowed upon him the title Augustus, meaning the revered one, a name imbued with both religious and royal connotations. Symbolism and the name Augustus. This new title was more than a mere honorific, it signified a transformation. Octavian was no longer just a victorious general or a cunning politician, he was now Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. The adoption of this title signified divine favor and marked him as the chosen one to lead Rome into an era of peace and stability. The establishment of the Principate, the illusion of restored republic. Augustus's rule was marked by a clever balancing act. To appease the Senate and traditionalists, he maintained the outward trappings of the republic, positioning himself not as a dictator but as princeps, or first citizen. This political model, known as the Principate, allowed Augustus to consolidate power while preserving the facade of republican governance. Consolidation of power. Under this guise, Augustus wielded immense control. He held command over the legions, appointed governors, and managed Rome's finances. Through strategic marriages and alliances, he secured loyalty and ensured that potential rivals were either placated or neutralized. His reforms in the army and civil service laid the foundations for a centralized imperial administration. The impact on Roman society. The Pax Romana begins. The reign of Augustus marked the start of the Pax Romana, a period of unprecedented peace that lasted over 2 centuries. This era saw the expansion of trade, cultural exchange, and architectural marvels that transformed Rome into the capital of a sprawling empire. Roads were built, aqueducts constructed, and the arts flourished under the stability Augustus provided. Legal and moral reforms. Augustus was not content with military and political dominance, he sought to shape the very moral fabric of Roman society. Through laws such as the Lex Julia, he promoted marriage, fidelity, and procreation among the aristocracy, aiming to restore what he considered the virtues of the early republic. This blend of legislative and personal example cemented his role not only as an emperor but as a moral leader. Opposition and challenges. The subtle repression of dissent. While Augustus's reign was marked by relative peace, it was not without opposition. Some senators, chafing under the new regime, yearned for the true republic. Augustus's response to dissent was measured yet firm. Overt conspiracies were quietly crushed, and critics were often co-opted into positions where they could be monitored or neutralized. The question of succession. One of the most pressing issues Augustus faced was the matter of succession. With no biological son, he adopted potential heirs, including Marcellus, Agrippa, and later Tiberius, ensuring a line of continuity. This preparation underscored the inherent challenge of creating a new form of governance that blended monarchy with republican ideals. The legacy of Augustus's influence on future emperors. The precedent Augustus set became the blueprint for emperors to come. His combination of military might, strategic alliances, and moral authority defined what it meant to rule Rome. The Principate system, with its subtle balancing of autocracy and republican traditions, allowed for the semblance of continuity even as power remained centralized. The transformation of Rome. Augustus's reign left an indelible mark on Rome. The city, adorned with temples, forums, and public works, bore the stamp of his vision. He famously declared, "I found Rome a city of bricks and left it a city of marble," a testament not only to his ambition but to his skill in marshalling resources for grand public projects. Conclusion. The beginning of the empire. The moment the Senate declared Octavian as Augustus was more than a political maneuver, it was a seismic shift in the course of history. The republic that had endured for nearly 5 centuries gave way to an empire that would dominate the ancient world for the next 500 years. Augustus, through calculated genius and sheer force of will, transformed Rome from a city torn by civil strife into the heart of an empire that stretched from Britannia to the sands of Egypt. His legacy would be the foundation upon which emperors, good and bad, would build for generations.